Thank you, Jay. And if you win the shirt off his back, we'll contemplate putting him in our flagship store in New York as a shirtless greeter. So I'm here today to talk about change, and not just change for change's sake, but meaningful and substantive change. The aphorism, "every day is a new day," rings true now more than it ever has. And the pace of technological innovation is only accelerating. Mobile now represents 30% of all digital, double last year. And 90% of our target market actually sleeps with their phone. So in this context, now matters. And it's less of the idea of now as a point in time, but now as moments in an evolving customer journey. We are living in an era of true digital transformation, creating an opportunity for integrated, seamless experiences that engage and nurture customer relationships. Now, Abercrombie & Fitch was founded in 1892. And the modern A&F is very different from its founding, but the focus on premium quality products and premium experiences remains the same. Now, the same is true for Hollister, which is a Southern California-infused concept targeting a slightly younger demographic. Quality products, premium and differentiated experiences. In over 20 years, we've created global, iconic, multi-billion-dollar brands. And for us, that brand differentiation was the store. It was enabled us to create the most unique retail theater in the industry. Having incredible products that create desire is important, but creating a branded shopping experience tailored for a youth market, not parents, enabled us to truly build a global presence. And starting in 2006, we went international, first starting in Canada, then through London, throughout Europe, and then Asia. And what sustained the brand is the consistency of the experience regardless of location. You could shop our store in Shanghai, shop Paris, shop New York, and you get the same experience, exceptional, elevated, and unique. Now in 2008, Hollister also went international using a similar approach. Consistent of experience, consistent product, consistent aesthetic, regardless of location. And this has enabled us to sustain the business and create demand with our target on a global basis. Now, thinking back 10 or 15 years ago, a differentiated store experience was sufficient. And we delivered more than, call it, 50 million brand interactions annually. We controlled the product, we controlled the experience, and we created the brand. And the business grew accordingly. Now, if you fast forward to today, in our current hyper-connected environment, it takes much more than just a unique, differentiated store experience. It means taking that great retail theater and making it digital, creating great interactive content, telling great stories that span across touch points. That can be e-commerce, through Google, through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, YouTube, email, SMS. There'll be something else tomorrow, I'm sure. But the concept of brand becomes more of a combination of now moments in weaving them into an integrated story, creating that spark that connects emotionally with our customers. Now, if we zoom in on the online channel, and we zoom in on our online persona, who is that consumer? And how do we better connect with her? How do we create a spark? How do we connect emotionally? Hollister is the fantasy of Southern California. It's beautiful beaches, blue skies, an endless summer. It's got a sense of humor, and it never takes itself too seriously. So our female persona, our 16-year-old, is confident, she's optimistic, she's relatable, she's savvy, she's cool, she's social, and she's always connected. Our research indicates that she does actually sleep with her phone, and she does take it with her everywhere, validating that 90% statistic from earlier. So catching a moment with her is really critical, and it has to count. And here's how we do so. We use a concept called SoCal Stylist. and we activate it across all of our touch points. So I'm going to introduce you to Frankie, who's one of our SoCal stylists, and she's going to show us her tomboy technique. Show the video.
Hey, I'm Frankie, your SoCal stylist. I like to layer. What? You can't tell? Consider it my tomboy technique. What's your tomboy technique? Show me at #SoCalStylist.
So for this consumer, context is critical. And for a long time, the digital experience was a fixed desktop experience. Then July 29th, 2007, the iPhone launched. Everything changed. Consumers became untethered, and the experience was no longer fixed. Consumers had unlimited access to brands and content on their terms. They had a limited attention span, as exemplified by the statistic that our target market spends on average 1.5 seconds per photo on Instagram. I'll let that sink in for a little bit. Now at A&F, more than 75% of our emails are actually opened on a phone. That's got far-reaching implications. That means that we have to start modularizing the experience, creating snackable moments and snackable content. It means investing in lo-fi content where speed is critical to test, learn, and scale. And SoCal Stylist is one of the ways that we do it. So from our perspective, context in addition to content is truly king. So yesterday was about our brand and our store and our product where we control that experience. Today it's very much about the customer and the content and the context. Obviously commerce too. So those 50 million touch points from 10 or 15 years ago are a 20 times increase now to more than 1 billion touch points. As exhibited by this photo from a recent flagship opening, consumers are heads down, not heads up. And the brand experience actually starts well before they queue up to get into the store. With one post, we can reach a truly global audience. And mobile is fast becoming the flagship brand experience. So that means that mobile innovation and focusing on optionality is critical. Because according to Forrester, consumers' expectation regarding mobile change every 18 months. Now for someone like me, I pitch a site redesign, that gets depreciated over 3 to 5 years, let's say. Investing in mobile is 18 months. So that means that the experiential shelf life is incredibly short. So what can you do? Well, at A&F, we've built flexibility into our model. That means creating snackable experiences, snackable moments. That means developing optionality with modular development, capabilities that can get repurposed as expectations change, and evolving into an organizational, agile business model. All with the help, of course, with IBM. So here's to now. Okay, let's capitalize on those now moments. And we are in an age of true digital transformation, which creates a historic opportunity for all of us. So while the concept of now is fleeting, the context of now is not. So on behalf of Abercrombie & Fitch and of course your kids, I want to say thank you for making those true moments matter. And thank you for having me. Have a great show.